Greetings from home. We join you this day with such pride and joy, for your energy has started to change on so many levels. You're moving into the fifth dimensional reality that we have talked about for so long. Actually, you've been in this fifth dimensional reality for quite some time. But you've been using the old third dimensional rules and the things you were taught as you grew up. As you evolve, you'll see even more possibilities than you ever dreamed possible. The main aspect of everything in life is the energy of love. Most of you still see things as up and down, right and wrong, good and bad. The reality is, you're living in a land of polarity. But it's all an illusion to help you play the game of pretending to be a human. It has set into motion the possibilities of the work that you're doing, so that you can see contrast. You only see us because we contrast with the background. You're accustomed to duality on so many different levels, and we're going to work a bit with that. Love. What exactly is love? The reality is that you express love in so many different ways. Because you live in a field of duality, you generally perceive it as loving one person. But that's only a very limited aspect, there's so much more. Love does not know the boundaries that many of you place upon it, it's just what you were taught. We wish to take you a little further into this and share what it looks like from our perspective. Have you ever been in love? The reality is all of you have been in love multiple times in your life. You express it in different ways. Many of you have fallen in love with a single person. You have created a relationship that is marvelous, for it allows you to walk next to someone. But the reality is, once you find love, you don't just live in love. Relationships must be continually built over time. Can you get comfortable and coast for a while? Well, in the third dimension that's quite possible. But in the fifth dimension it becomes different. Because when something stops being built, it starts to degrade. It's like a grand wave of light and love. You will love many in your lifetime, whether you express it as that or not is entirely up to you and your belief systems. If you are able to build different levels with a person in a single relationship, it becomes very magical. It's also somewhat rare. So, what is love? Love is when you can hold someone, or multiple people, so close that you see yourself. That may not have been what you wanted to hear. However, love is an expression of being able to see your spirit through the eyes of another. When someone looks at you and falls deeply in love, you have magic. It may only be for a fleeting time, because you live in polarity with the illusion of linear time. Know that love is not determined by the length of time you are together. Many of you have known that the keeper was married for a very long time. Not only married, but deeply in love. Even that relationship, which would be celebrating 52 years had she not graduated and gone home, was probably about 7 different relationships with the same person during that time. That is magical, as it keeps things alive and moving in different ways. Recently the keeper did several private sessions in which people said, I want the relationship, but I want it with someone who has as much spirituality as I do. Well, that might actually be rather boring. You have to wrestle with egos on your side of the veil. But that will be diminishing greatly, because as you step into the fifth dimension your ego fades. You can start to see things from the true perspective of spirit, rather than that of your ego. That's what is surfacing now in so many different areas of human life, dealing with egos. It was a necessary evil that ensured your survival, to be able to see things from different perspectives. Ultimately, to see yourself in that way was both magical and very difficult, but now your world is changing. In duality and the lower parts of the third dimension, you understood there were 2 types of love, conditional and unconditional. Actually, all love is unconditional. Love has to be unconditional if it is to survive the relationship, if it is to move to that next level. What of unconditional love? Many times we spoke about the keeper's marriage. The reality is that marriage is a statement of unconditional love. I will love you. However, often people understand it instead to mean, I will love you only as long as you love me back. That suffices for the third dimension, but as you move into the fifth dimension it doesn't quite work the same way. The divorce rate on planet Earth is very high. So, how is a relationship built? One of the easiest ways to work in a relationship and build love is to tell your partner all your secrets. Tell them your deepest, darkest thoughts, and see what happens. You'll start building this incredible trust that you could no other way. Although it's magical, there's so much more to it now. Third dimensional ego. What about when a partner wants a spiritual person to walk alongside? You have to deal with these egos, so you'll always be in competition to some degree. Often you can reach harmony where one person's ego is here and another's is there. As you evolve, sometimes they even trade places, and that's perfect. But what happens if instead you have a gap? Well, then you start having a leaning relationship, in which one person leans upon the other. We've even heard people say, we are going to work with this relationship. My partner is going to work with the spiritual aspects of it, so I don't have to. That doesn't quite work, does it? When you have a leaning relationship, one person moves forward and the other person falls. Dare to find a harmony, release your expectations, and just allow yourself to fall in love with who they are in this very moment. Many people on planet Earth have fallen into these relationships, where they feel someone has great potential. They say, I have hope that in a year or two we'll be doing all of this. Of course, this never works, because then you are moving into the role of being their teacher. You can either be their teacher or their lover, but generally trying to be both doesn't work. So, just fall in love. Jealousy is a third-dimensional reality. Almost all humans experience jealousy to some degree, and it's a lower vibration. Again, it is because you have to deal with the ego. The ego has a lot to do with how you express love. Do you think that spirit, those of us from the other side of the veil, love you conditionally? No, not at all. The reality is you even have guides who sit on your shoulder. Many of you have even asked their names so you can call them something. The reality is these are the spirits who love you enough to watch you make all the mistakes. They're telling you, turn right, and then they watch you as you turn left. But they love you just the same and they're still there for you. That is unconditional love. When it comes to relationships, is it possible that you love someone enough to let them go? Yes, that is one of the greatest forms of love. When you actually reach that level, you can decide. We have reached the end of our relationship. Are we going to build it further? Or are we going to let it go? What if you have fallen in love with someone else? Can I let you go in love and be thankful for the energy that I've had with you? That is fifth-dimensional love. It's a process that you're all working with right now. Yes, it's difficult and somewhat of a stretch for many humans. Even just hearing the words doesn't always land easily, but here we are. Someone asked, what is love? What do you love to do? What brings your passions forward? That's a form of love that's completely unconditional. Even if you are unable to do it for a while, you don't lose that love, you still have it. What about those of you who are just in love with humanity? When you think of the earth, you think of her problems. If the difficulties of earth and humanity are heavy on your heart, what if you just looked at it and fell in love with it all? That's exactly what your spirit does. Your spirit is so overjoyed to be here. Yes, we know some of you arrive on Earth, open your eyes, and think someone pushed you into this. I don't know how I got here, I don't remember agreeing to all of this, and yet, your spirit is saying, oh, this is so magical. I love being here. Creating an environment of love. What happens when you fall in love? You radiate it all around you, you create an environment of love, and it touches everything all around you. It touches every person that is within range of those vibrations, who can hear your voice or feel your light. Fall in love, do it often. Take the conditions off and watch what happens, for it's magical. You step into the fifth dimension and start seeing things from a totally different perspective. Can you be divided the way many humans are divided on planet Earth right now? Not if you are in love with every aspect. When someone thinks completely differently than you do, you are not either right or wrong. You're simply on a different path, that's all. you will find many things changing as you anchor more of the fifth dimensional reality in your daily life. But it does take time, and we find it fascinating. The villain? If you look at your books and movies, the stories you tell each other, the really good ones always have a villain. That's an important aspect of story writing. You have the good guy and the bad guy, which equates to duality. But as you begin moving into triality, you're starting to see some fascinating things happening with your stories. The really captivating stories are the ones that build up the villain, all the nasty things that they do, and the way that they think negatively. But when you see inside the villain for just a moment, you actually fall in love with him. This is happening on a regular basis, dear ones. They are planting seeds. Fifth dimensional love is magical, but remember there's no right or wrong with spirit. There are sometimes people who cannot feel others, yet that is changing right now. You are the pendulum that swings in both directions, as we've often spoken of. Hopefully you've reached that edge where you'll swing back the other way into a unity consciousness. Fifth dimensional love. Bringing love from home allows you to be touched by your spirit all around you. No matter what you think of yourself, spirit is in love with you and so incredibly proud of you. Start falling in love with everything and anything that you can. We've mentioned this for years. Look for the similarities. Find the ways you are alike rather than the ways you are different, and that dissolves the ego. It turns everything into an experience of wonder and excitement, a new experiment of love. If you start thinking about this in a different way, you'll start experiencing so much more. A fifth dimensional love is magical indeed. What if you are walking next to a person that you're building a relationship with, but they're always working? Would you love them enough to let them go? What about the person you've built your life with, who's dying? It will change your life drastically if they leave, and do you want them to return so your life can go forward together? Do you love them enough to tell them it is okay to let go? Many of you have actually made contracts on the other side of the veil to do exactly that, and you feel it. Feel the love that we have for you, dear ones. It's more magical than you could ever understand. So, what is love? Love is a reflection of the true you. The more that you can fall in love, the more you will see possibilities all around you in every way. The keeper has developed a habit at our suggestion. Every day when he talks with people that he loves, whether it's his son, brother, sisters, or the love of his life at the moment, he ends the conversation by saying, "I love you." What if that was the last time that he was able to speak to them? Express your love at every opportunity. You will find yourself able to fall in love with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Love is a beautiful human experience. There are no villains on planet Earth. Evil does not exist. It is only a shadow that has been created for control purposes. As you step into the fifth dimension, there are no shadows, only different shades of light. There is no black and white, only shades of gray with beautiful colors in between. You know that you are magical, each and every one of you. And we hope that you feel the love that we hold for you every moment of every day. Love yourself, dear ones. Dare to look in the mirror and instead of seeing difficulties and imperfections, just fall completely in love with every aspect of your being for just a moment. Begin each day in that way. You are creating an environment of energy all around you, which will attract more of that in your field. You will live in a field of love, of true fifth dimensional love. Practice it often, and experience it, where you can. Do not judge yourself if you fail, for that's part of it as well. And if you've been playing the role of a villain, dare to love yourself, and watch what happens. Keep in mind, you are the greatest angels that have ever lived. We love you in ways that you can only begin to imagine. We watch your experiences from this side of the veil. We are so incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Tag, you're it. It's a grand game of tag and you're it. We've loved you, oh pass it on, and find another to love unconditionally. Tag them without needing them to love you back. Then watch what happens to your lives as you step into the fifth dimensional reality you have created here on Earth. Welcome home, dear ones. You are the magicians of the game board. We are the group of 9 and we love you dearly. Treat each other with respect and love. Nurture one another at every possibility, and play this game together well. Yes, dare to love the villains. Espavo. The group of 9. Our focus and attention is key. If we pay attention, as we collectively progress through the powerful shifts of consciousness that we are all experiencing during this unparalleled time, we will be able to tangibly see evidence of just how powerful our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions are. We will also witness in more obvious ways than ever before the influence these expressions using our life force play in every facet of our lives. We will clearly see if they affect us positively or negatively depending on what we choose to think, feel, say, and do. Through the unified efforts of both heaven and earth, over literally millions of years, Mother Earth has finally reclaimed her rightful place in the universe. The seemingly miraculous feat enabled embodied light workers to co-create, with the collaboration of the beings of light, from our grand central sun, a quantum reboot within Mother Earth's 5D crystalline solar grid system. This grid system functions through the axis of Mother Earth the same way the axis of our spinal column, our chakras, and our acupuncture meridians function in our own earthly bodies. The Earth's crystalline grid is the electrical system through which our Father Mother God breathed the prana and life force that sustains this planet. It is the system through which the holy breath and the light of God are distributed to every particle and wave of life evolving on Mother Earth. The Company of Heaven has referred to this incredible force field of light as the bridge to freedom. They have revealed that this 5D crystalline grid of comprehensive divine love expands the abyss from the remaining residue of human suffering on this planet into the highest realms of God's infinite light. This grid is the pathway over which Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her are ascending up the spiral of evolution. And now, our Mother God is investing this force field of light with a higher order of divine service. The divine intent of the quantum reboot that just took place within Mother Earth's 5D crystalline solar grid system was to co-create the sacred space for our Mother God to breathe into Earth's crystalline grid system brand new fifth-dimensional frequencies of her comprehensive divine love. This is a higher frequency of our Mother God's love than we have ever been able to withstand at a cellular level. Our Mother God has now confirmed that this cosmic reboot succeeded God victoriously. This divine intervention actually created a foundation on Earth of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love that will now permanently support the flawless patterns of perfection humanity is being called to co-create as we manifest the fifth-dimensional crystalline solar new Earth in the tangible world of form. According to the Company of Heaven, prior to these recent shifts of consciousness, even the most awakened light workers were not reaching a frequency of vibration that would allow them to fully fathom the wonder and awe of the patterns of perfection for the fifth-dimensional crystalline solar new Earth. Now, however, everything has changed. Our 5D creative faculties of thought and feeling, and our dormant 5D physical senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, intuition, and imagination have been awakened, activated, and elevated to brand new heights. This allowed our Mother God to create a foundation of her comprehensive divine love that will now be permanently sustained on Mother Earth through her 5D crystalline grid system. Our responsibility as co-creators in the physical plane of Earth is to now focus our attention on that truth and on Mother Earth's crystalline grid in order to deliberately bring these awesome patterns into humanity's conscious awareness so that we can all participate in co-creating them in the world of form. Mother Earth's divinely intelligent crystal grid system is open and receptive to receiving the wondrous patterns of perfection that you and I and the rest of humanity now have access to through our newly awakened, activated, and elevated creative faculties and physical senses. As we place the power of our attention and our intentions on this new opportunity, we will become much more familiar with just what this means in relation to our individual and collective forward progress in the light. This is an extraordinary moment in all of our lives, and it may seem overwhelming in many ways. The important thing for us to realize is that if we did not have the ability to accomplish the divine mission that is being presented to us, we would not be asked to do so. The company of heaven is assuring us that we are more than qualified to manifest the multi-dimensional patterns of perfection we are being called to co-create for the new earth. We just need to take some forward action and prove it to ourselves. This can be done by beginning with baby steps and observing the results. A simple way of doing that is to observe the things that are surfacing in your personal life and pay attention to how you are responding with your thoughts and feelings. Then, ask your I Am Presence to show you how you can improve that situation by responding with more love, compassion, and forgiveness. This will mean, of course, transcending anger, fear, and judgment, which are often humanity's past reflex responses to negativity. In other words, those responses are just bad habits. The shifts we have experienced have empowered us to focus our attention in new ways and consciously add more light to the world with every breath we take. This may not be something that is obvious to us just yet, but that is only because we are creatures of habit and have not taken the time to pay attention to changes surfacing in the way we think and feel about the things entering our sphere of awareness. Remember, a foundation of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love has now been breathed into Mother Earth's 5D crystalline solar grid. This foundation of our Mother God's love will greatly empower any effort we make to respond to our earthly challenges from a heart-based place. The company of heaven is assuring us that focusing on our Mother God's foundation of comprehensive divine love and Earth's 5D crystalline solar grid is a very effective way of breaking our destructive habits and our reflex responses that are not based in love. This may assist you with your focus of attention. We have a beautiful image of Mother Earth's crystalline grid of comprehensive divine love that reflects the multidimensional sacred geometric patterns that pulsate within this powerful force field of light. The image was created for us by the wonderful artist Andre Ballo. For several years we have distributed this image through posters and coasters to help us have a tangible representation of this powerful grid of divine love pulsating in our personal spaces. Now that this powerful grid has experienced a quantum reboot into the 5D crystalline solar grid of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love, we at Era of Peace have co-created a new item that will help all of us to easily focus our attention on this grid of divine love. We have imprinted this beautiful image on a pillowcase that we can use in many ways to amplify the power of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love and Earth's 5D crystalline grid system through our focused attention. No matter what image of this grid you are focusing on, the brand new frequencies of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love will be greatly accelerated on a physical level in your personal life. As I have shared many times, I do not ever promote something that I have not proven to myself to be true. I will share with you that I have used this beautiful pillowcase in many ways, and have experienced the acceleration of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love in tangible ways through all of them. I have placed the pillowcase on my sleeping pillow, my meditation pillow, and even on a pillow I placed behind my back in the chair I relax in all of these ways I experience the embrace of our Mother God's love and a gentle inner peace. If you have the heart call to experience this form of the image of Mother Earth's 5D crystalline grid of comprehensive divine love, the pillowcases are available on our website,